Live again, live again. So, you can probably tell by the title already, this is a live stream, but what I want to do in this video, in this live stream, is talk about the recent attacks on exchanges. There's been quite a few, but obviously the one on SafeTrade is one that affected me personally. But today there's been a big announcement about Cryptopia being hacked as well. So I want to discuss what happened with the SafeTrade exchange. I want to talk about what's happening with Cryptopia. And yeah, it's a big problem in crypto. It's probably an aspect of crypto, the main aspect of crypto that I hate. You know, just seeing all these exchanges being hacked all the time. And when you understand what's going on in the background, you realize how vulnerable many exchanges are, as far as, you know, a lot of projects aren't updating their code. There's always security holes and all these other things. And, you know, it's one of those things. I think when you see like behemoths like Binance being attacked, then, you know, what chances do small exchanges have? But Binance obviously has the security teams. They have the resources to tackle these things. So yeah, I want to talk about that in this stream. I'll wait a while. The YouTube app always takes a few minutes to update people, because I want to, you know, it's not just about me talking in this video. I want to go back and forth and chat to you guys as well. It's not like an interview where you guys are in the background. You guys are a part of this stream and you will direct, you know, where the discussion goes here. So is this my first? I think this is my second stream of the year. I actually planned to do a live stream on Friday, and I had a lot of work to finish. I finished it off in the afternoon, and I planned to do like a 2, 3 or even 4 hour long stream and catch up with lots of news that I emailed myself, and then the attack on SafeTrade happened, so I just didn't have time to do it. Plus, I was also conscious about the fact that it just happened. People will be asking questions that I didn't have answers for as well. And I just wanted to focus my energy on helping out the team at that point, because we had a team meeting and we had other things that we had to discuss. So yeah, that's why I've not done a live stream for the last week or two. That's my apology. That's my excuse. But I will talk about the SafeTrade attack. I will talk about what happened. Hi, Paul. Obviously, we always delve into different subjects as well. Feel free to post something else, but I do want to try and focus on what happened with SafeTrade and what's happening with Cryptopia today. This is something that affects all of cryptocurrency. Even if you've got a coin or you're associated with a coin that's not on a particular exchange that was hacked, I think in general all these attacks are really damaging for cryptocurrency. I know some people say that you know, this is, well, their exchange wasn't secure enough and all that, but I don't think any exchange or any project can ever be 100% secure. I don't believe so. Maybe not in today's world. But this is something that the SafeCoin team is trying to address with secure nodes, and, you know, set up the whole system in a different way. And they will be implementing changes in cold storage, etc. as well. But I'll talk about that later on. So, yeah, just like... Right, where am I? So what I want to talk about is the SafeCoin attack. Now, this is kind of one of the weird things about this. It's frustrating for both sides as far as what you do when an exchange is attacked. Now, this isn't something that I'd really thought about before, because whenever you hear about an exchange being attacked, you see the announcement, and then you know, you see people reacting to that announcement, etc. But through this whole ordeal, I've been able to see what happens at the other side of the fence and see how the team respond to things. And it's quite difficult, because obviously from a security point of view, there's certain things that you want to tell everyone. You want to be as transparent as you can, as transparent as you wish you could be, but there are many things that you can't say, because doing so could hurt the security of the exchange and of the project, because the attackers are monitoring everything. So it's a kind of weird situation where you want everyone just to trust you. You want to assure everyone, listen, we're dealing with this, don't worry, we'll sort it. But it's crypto. Everyone wants transparency. They want to know what's happening in the background as well. But it's kind of difficult because you could actually make things worse by revealing too much information publicly. It's kind of a weird situation. Hey Norlis, good to see you, mate. Thanks for dropping by. Now, there has been a flow of announcements in the SafeCoin Discord, and the last one is probably the most significant. And rather than me paraphrasing everything really badly, it's probably easier if I just read it out to you guys. Right, so this was an announcement that was published UK time 3 in the morning, but it was kind of night time, UK Canada time. So Jeff posted this announcement, and there's been updates every single day since the attack, and he's tried to explain exactly what's happening the whole way, as far as they did a rollback for SafeCoin and updated all the pools and all that. But it's this last announcement that I want to talk about in the stream. So can I make this bigger? You can see I was searching for Cryptopia on the side here. I was looking for something with that. Right, can I make this bigger? Let's make it bigger. Let's make the text bigger, eh? This is 2019 now. We need bigger text. Right. Hello everyone, I'd just like to provide a quick update and again thank everyone for your incredible support and patience so many of you have shown. We are working through the investigation process and have now shifted our main focus to the recovery phase of SafeTrade, the part most of you will no doubt be most interested in. Our team has decided that we will resume not only full accounts but full trading. SafeTrade's infrastructure will be reinstalled from the ground up, as in he's not going to just reboot the exchange. He's going to start an exchange, then import things over, with additional appropriate security measures based on findings from our investigation, as well as a strict digital cold storage policy. Now, this is something I can talk about. There's certain things I can't talk about because certain things are still ongoing as far as the investigation, as far as what happened, etc. But that is something I can talk about. SafeTrade has seen an incredible amount of growth in the last 2 weeks of operation, with many coin inventories such as Bitcoin quadrupling in a matter of days. While we are pleased with the rapid growth, we intend to be fully prepared for it when we launch. This means increased security and digital cold storage policy. We are very pleased to officially announce that all balances and withdrawals will be 100% honoured in all forms of currencies, including Bitcoin. This is something that many people wanted, and is one of the things in the Discord that many people were complaining about. When are you going to tell us? When are you going to tell us that we've got all our money back and all that? So that's something. I'll talk about this in a second. Hi Max, good to see you, mate. Yeah, Equipool was DDoSed as well. That was disappointing as well. So I'll go through this and then I'll try and break down. It's a wall of text. I'll need to tell Jeff to add some paragraphs in here, but there's a wall of text. I'll break it down after this and then give you my opinion on a lot of this. We're very pleased to thank you for your patience. We simply needed to be able to have our statements backed up. That required teamwork, investment, and time. The withdrawals will, of course, from this point fall under cold storage limitations, meaning that past certain size limits, manual withdrawal will be required, expected within 24 hours. Limit sizes may change over time, but we intend to adopt this policy permanently as we position ourselves for growth and keep risk minimized and investors protected with controlled floats. Simply put, we're going to make things right, and we're taking this opportunity to achieve the highest standards possible. I would like to specifically thank those investors who made liquidity possible for all of us. You know who you are. And what Jeff is talking about here are investors who come in and provided the funds to give everyone their money back, essentially. And you forget sometimes a lot of the most important people in SafeCoin, yes, you've got Jeff, yes, you've got the team, but there's a lot of investors who have invested heavily into the project, and they've helped out in many situations, many sticky situations like this. I just want to catch up with the comments. I will rewind and watch beginning of stream. To be honest, Max, you kind of come in at the right time. I was just kind of saying hello at the start. Hi, Ozzy. Yeah, exchanges are a target, and it makes you think when if someone with a mobile phone's a target for crypto, someone with a ledger wallet is a target. Exchanges are obviously the big fish. So that was a really good announcement by Jeff. I need to tell him to use paragraphs, but Ether 1 was attacked, and of course the Ethereum Classic attack. Yeah, I was reading about the Ethereum Classic attack as well. That was a 51% attack. I didn't know Ether 1 was attacked. I didn't know about that. When was that? Is that recent? Right, I just want to break down some of the points here that Jeff posted here. As I said, there's certain things from a security point of view and all these other things that I can't talk about, and I wouldn't want to anyway, publicly. because it could hurt the security of the exchange. But what Jeff is talking about here as far as the digital cold storage policy, right? So when the SafeTrade exchange was hacked last week, there was like 8 Bitcoin that was stolen. Most of it was in Bitcoin, but there was some Raven, some, I think, Bitcoin Z, some safe, which we could fix with a rollback. What he's talking about there as far as cold storage goes is that I said, like, Jeff was basically ready to do a complete change and infrastructure update with the exchange, because he knew that you don't want to have too much money in the wallet, the online wallet. Now, basically, he had like one Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoin kind of floating around in the online wallet, or on the exchange, should I say. And he was ready to implement a cold storage system whereby if someone wanted to withdraw over a certain amount, say it's 0.5 Bitcoin or 1 Bitcoin, whatever it may be, he would have to get those funds from a cold storage wallet. Basically means it's offline. No one can hack it. No one can take the funds. But as he said in the announcement here, he saw a huge amount of growth. Bitcoin quadrupling in a matter of days. Now, that basically means that instead of having 1 Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoin on the exchange, it had 6 or 7 or 8 Bitcoin. You had 8 Bitcoin that was taken. So normally you'd think with the volume of the exchange, the trading volume going up, this is fantastic news for the exchange. It's more profitable. It's a great thing. But I mean, I don't know. We still don't know why. I still don't know anyway. I still don't know how the attacker got the funds, but I'm not sure if there was monitoring volume. I don't know what, but he was obviously paying attention. But it's kind of unfortunate that just before he implemented the cold storage policy, that he got a kind of jump in traffic. Normally that's a good thing, but it turned out to be a bad thing in this instance, because the hackers, walked away with more money, and that money has to be recovered. How much was lost from SafeTrade? 8 Bitcoin max. I'm not sure if you heard me saying that before. Hey, see ya. Ether 1 exchange wallets have been shut down. Can't move it on or off exchanges. Ah, that's a shame. I remember speaking to the guy from Ether 1. He came across as a really nice guy. Yeah, Chris is right. Just under 8 Bitcoin in total. But there was some other coins taken as well. So, the other big thing to take from the announcement today, right? And this is a the whole community is really pleased with this announcement, because this is the announcement they've been waiting for since Friday when it happened. But when you think about it, like 3 days to actually come up with an official announcement that covers so many different things, when you realize what's going on in the background, that is unbelievable. Now, what they're talking about here, what Jeff is talking about here, as far as he's got it here, we are very pleased to officially announce that balances and withdrawals will be 100% honored in all forms of currencies. So, I want to talk about Cryptopia soon, Matt. I'll touch upon that. I just want to cover this first. I just want to kind of rewind to what happened on Friday. Now, as I said earlier, I was about to do a live stream on Friday. I was about to do like a 3 or 4 hour live stream, and then I was reading on Discord that SafeTrade was hacked. And I thought it was bad timing for me, but Jeff was actually at work, and I think he had a couple of sleepless nights, literally 0 sleep. So when this happens, you do get some people in the community saying we'll bounce back. You do get other people saying, well, best of luck, hopefully it'll get resolved. But then there's people that, as you would expect, they've lost money. Where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money? And what they want, maybe if they don't want the money right away, is they want a commitment that they will get their funds back. That is something I agree upon. And when we were in the team meeting, myself and a few others were like, listen, we need to tell people they're going to get their money back, and then we will work out how we do it. We'll work it out with investors, or we'll do whatever, but we have to say you're going to get your money back. But Jeff had a different position on this. He said, yes, they're going to get their money back, but I don't want to say that anyone's getting their money back until we know how we get that money. And after he talked about it, I must admit, I did come round to it. There's many ways to kind of approach this type of thing, but the way that Jeff looked at this, and he's a very convincing man when he starts talking, because he's really good at the way that he listens to everyone in the team. But the way he said it was, listen, as soon as we say you're going to get your money back, someone else will say, well, how are you getting those funds? How are you going to get those funds? And then if you can't answer that, then he'll say, well, you're just at it. You're saying that just to stop us. You know what I mean? And he's right. if he come out with a statement saying, listen, you're going to get your money back, and someone says, well, how are you going to get that money? And he couldn't give a good answer, or he couldn't give the truthful answer, then people say it's an exit scam, he's buying time and all that. And even though, you know, you still got that, that people were saying it's a scam and all that. But when all that was going on, and when a lot of people were complaining in the Discord, and, you know, many people were obviously upset about that, he was in the background phoning people, dealing with the actual hack as well, but also phoning people, speaking to investors privately on Discord and telephone calls and all that. He wanted to ensure that he could secure the funds, and he done so, and then he's got the announcement here. It's one of those things, because I mean, any of you guys in the SafeCoin Discord, because basically over the last few days, we couldn't say officially that everyone was getting 100% of the money back, despite the fact that we knew it was going to happen. And it was this weird situation. And I do think that Jeff's approach to that is correct when you think about it. If we went out and said, you're going to get your money back, and someone says, well, how are you going to do it? How are you going to get those funds? And then if you can't answer that, you look kind of stupid, and then it actually looks like you're lying. But he was working in the background. He wanted to make sure it was official. He's done so now, and without being too cheesy, I can't, without Jeff has been, I can't believe how good he is, what he does as far as the business side of things. I think he handled it really well as you can handle any attack. But I'm maybe a little bit biased in that, because I know what he's been doing in the background and all that. And there's a lot of other things he's doing in the background right now that I can't talk about. But yeah, I'll catch up with the comments now. Sorry guys, I went on a rant. I wanted to get through that and just kind of explain what was happening, at least for the benefit of anyone who's been on the SafeCoin Discord the last few days. And I think if you've been on the SafeCoin Discord the last few days, you'll probably know that it's been entertaining. It's probably one way to put it. Right. Chris Moffat, not sure how much they'll bounce back from 11 million unless they've been super profitable. Yeah, I'll take a look at that in a second. I just want to get through the comments. Matt said I had a Bitcoin worth of XPM on there when I was about to move out. Oh man, that's a shame. Do you think you'll get that back, Matt? Do you know what the stats is? So there's an Ether 1 attack as well, saying no Ether 1 was lost. They caught it in time and are in the process of trying to patch against 51% attacks. It's hard, man. It's hard. I think, see, when I started my cryptocurrency journey, I think, I must admit, if I had to go back and look at a lot of videos, I think that my response to many things was, that's bullshit. I can't believe they got attacked, or I can't believe this. But see, when you realize there's so many of these developers which, in comparison to me, when it comes to coding, I'm pretty good at HTML and CSS, and I can edit PHP with the best of them. But these guys are borderline geniuses compared to me. They really are. They really are very smart people. And when you see that these guys are struggling to deal with attacks, it really does make you think. It really does make you think how difficult it is to run a project. And there's a lot of good people working on Ether 1. So it's a fair point, Aston. I mean, it is a reminder that really, if you're using an exchange, unless you are a trader, and even if you are a trader, you should only really keep a little bit on an exchange. But if you're a trader, you really should just, if you're just anyone involved in crypto, send some money to the exchange it, and send it back to your wallet. Don't keep it sitting there. Unless there's some dust or anything like sub $100, don't keep it there. Yeah, you're right, Red for Danger. Right, so let's jump ahead. We've talked about SafeCoin. Let's talk about Cryptopia. So this is Cryptopia. So you can see here, Cryptopia is currently in unscheduled maintenance mode. We will be back. We apologise for any inconvenience. Now, they're not being vague there. They have been transparent in their Twitter account. For some reason, Twitter isn't displaying. I think it's a DNS issue. But CoinDesk, right. New Zealand crypto exchange Cryptopia goes offline citing hack. Has gone offline. In fact, guys, I just want to post this. Read along with me if you want. And I'll post a link to SafeCoin you can get. Yeah, they tweeted it out, Matt. The reason is I've got some weird DNS issue with I think it's Windows and Twitter for whatever reason isn't playing nice. I don't know why. I've left links to SafeCoin in the article that I'm about to read, so you can check that out. You can get to the SafeCoin Discord link through the SafeCoin website and the Bitcoin Talk announcement and all that as well. The exchange announced the news on Twitter this morning, saying that it suffered a security breach which resulted in significant losses. The exchange's website, including support, yeah, we've seen that. Okay, meanwhile, tweets from Whale Alert on Saturday indicated that 19,391 Ether tokens worth nearly $2.44 million and around 48 million centrality, never heard of that, CENNZ, worth 1.18 million, were transferred from Cryptopia to unknown wallets on January 13th. So, what's that, 2 days ago? They mentioned in a tweet that they've involved the relevant government agencies, including the New Zealand Police and High Tech Crimes Unit, who are jointly and actively investigating the matter as a major crime, and they're assisting us. Right, okay. Until this has been carried out, we'll remain in maintenance mode. Who was it? I need to give credit to the person who shared me this. Jupe on SafeCoin shared me this. This was someone that posted this on Reddit. Cryptopia hack analysis, minimum 13 million stolen. Now that's a lot more than what they're saying here. They're saying here, what's that, about 3.5 million or so, maybe a little bit more than that, 3.6. But they're saying here minimum 13 million stolen. So they've got the transfer, that's the Ether that was spoken about in the article. There's the CNNZ. But they're also saying DApps, $304,000. So that's 2 million. This one was 1 million. This one's $304,000. Where's the rest of it? Total balance to address $11 million. Am I missing something here? Where are they getting extra money from? Sends and DApps were transferred to this Ether address. Sorry. I don't know why I said Etherscan there. Right. So that's a summary. To be honest, that's about as much as I know right now, other than what I've seen people posting in Discord, etc. Knowledge has $1.50 on Cryptopia. So it was Ethereum and the ERC20 in the same address. Let's see, what's this one? It looks like money's been shifting about, so that's not really going to tell me much. My address to this Ether address. I'd actually have to go down and follow the crumbs. Does anyone get any other updates as to what's happening with that right now? Right. It seems like it was mainly Ethereum and ERC20 and CENNZ and what's the other one? DApps. What was it? DApps. No updates. I've been quite vocal about the fact that I don't like Cryptopia, because my only experience with Cryptopia was that when I deposited money there, it took about 22 days for my Monero withdrawal, and I think my Digibyte took about 23 days or something like that as well. So it was about 3 weeks for withdrawals, and when I did contact them about it, they didn't reply. And then when I sent them a message on Facebook, they sent me an automatic reply saying we'll reply within 48 days. So my opinion of Cryptopia was that it was a very poor exchange. I don't know if you remember when I was at the conference in America, I was actually live, like I am right now, with my phone, with the gimbal that's somewhere, yeah, it's in the background there. I was live, and whilst I was interviewing someone, the Cryptopia guy was right next to me, and I was so tempted to ask him a cheeky question. It was 48 days, Matt. I was so tempted to ask him a crappy question, and just, be cheeky. But it was probably one of those things. This is maybe the guy that's actually fixing things rather than the guy that was the problem. I don't know. Pump and dump exchange. Who benefits from this type of volume? The exchange. They've always been shady. Yeah, they've always been a place that listed newer coins and scam coins. I think right now the biggest exchange for that is CryptoBridge. Muddy Funster. Okay, so US government is closed. That means SEC is closed. Should we care about Wall Street's backed entering the space? It will only affect fiat price in the short term. Muddy Funster, is that the futures thing? I was following that before Christmas, but I've not been following what's been happening with that recently. Is that the futures? I think that's the futures thing. Yeah, 48 days. Okay, the futures. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how the whole Bitcoin futures thing. I'm not sure about whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I've read a lot of articles saying it's great. It's how you're going to get all these investors into cryptocurrency. But I just don't like the fact that people are gambling on Bitcoin. I'd rather they invested in projects or invested in hardware or companies that were invested in cryptocurrency. Most of the ERC20, they still probably have little liquidity anyway. I mean, see with these tokens, like what happens? I don't think you can do a rollback with tokens, can you? Can you? I don't know enough about tokens as far as how it works, as far as, you know, like with a regular project, you can do a rollback and you can do a rollback, you know, back to a previous block. But I'm not sure you could do that with tokens, could you? Is that an idiotic question? If it is, I'm sure someone will use this. Depends on the token. Yeah, it's something I've never really thought about. It's not good news anyway. I think they have the option when they set up the token. Right, okay. I mean, again, it raises the question, you know, I kind of talked about this last week when I was in the team meeting with SafeCoin. And I was like, listen, this is terrible news. It's really, really bad news. But you got to look in the bright side. You know, like the $30,000 or whatever that was stolen, this can be recovered as far as, you know, we can put the funds together, we can figure it out. If this was 100,000, if there was $1 million, it's, you know, it's like the end of the project. And I think my guess is that Cryptopia doesn't have that money, but it might be able to get it. For a start, Cryptopia is a bigger company. They've got a lot of staff and all that. But if you think about it from an investment point of view, if some investors came along and say, listen, we'll give you, you know, $30 million, $15 million, whatever it may be, we will do that to buy 30% of the company or something like that. And they know that when it's back online, if they can make some changes to the exchange, make it more secure, that they have a profitable exchange. You know, there's a lot of people that, when they look at cryptocurrency, they're not looking at just buying coins and sitting on them. They're looking at the business opportunities. They're looking at getting invested in an exchange. I know, you know, from SafeTrade, there's a lot of people that have been trying to get invested and buy ownership of the exchange, as far as buy a percentage or whatever. So it's one of those things. I don't think they've got that money in reserve. But the question is, can they acquire that money through investors, through, you know, whatever else they've got there? I don't know. But if they can, hopefully the exchange can save. It's one of those things, you know, I know that a lot of people have the approach that, well, another crap exchange bites the dust. But I also think that competition is good. And I also think that we do need some of these smaller exchanges, if only just, you know, so that smaller coins can get listed. And I know it is a haven for pump and dumps and all that as well. I don't agree with that. You know, smaller exchanges do tend to list lesser known coins, riskier coins. But I don't think it's good for any cryptocurrency project to go under. Certainly not in this way. It's not good for cryptocurrency. We really want more companies to come in to be competitive. It'll push up the standard. It'll push up what we expect from exchanges. And who knows, you know, if you look back at many exchanges that maybe some people think are good now, if you go back many years, maybe they were really bad exchanges. Maybe the service was bad. Maybe they got attacked a lot. I saw someone posting that on Reddit, where they kind of posted a timeline over the last 5 years of, I think it was Monero. and Monero is one of the best projects around, I would say. I think, you know, I know enough about it to know that, and I know that there's a lot of people that I respect and they say that Monero is a good project. So, you know, beyond reading the white paper, I'm not going to claim to be an expert on that project, but a lot of people who are experts have said it's a good project. And if you look back at their timeline, there's a lot of times when they were attacked and their wallet wasn't working, and they've had 4 or 5 years to develop. And it's sometimes easy to forget that a lot of these companies, a lot of these projects, they have to go through the kind of initial phase. But at the same time, there's so many scams, there's so many new coins out there, there's so many new projects out there that are scams that you need to keep your wits about you. Muddy Funds, it's like Bitcoin is a global thing. Why are we waiting for the US government to be open? Yeah, it's a good point. It's quite strange how influential the US government and what's happening in the USA is influential on what happens with Bitcoin. I don't know if anyone's got a split. As far as where Bitcoin is being held, as far as a percentage of it is in Asia, a percentage is in Russia, the Middle East. I'm not sure how if the majority of Bitcoin is in the USA, then I guess that makes it the most influential market. I'm not sure. Russia, yeah. Well, you know, there's a huge amount of farms in Russia. There's a huge amount of farms in China as well. Over time, the number of centralized exchanges will probably diminish. I think the number of exchanges will only diminish when regulation comes in. The way that Jeff has done it, he's registered in Canada and all that. There's a lot of exchanges that have popped up that aren't registered anywhere. They aren't transparent. No one knows who owns it. No one knows where they're based, and yet people still use those exchanges. And a lot of people were actually advocating for that. You know, I do realise that, you know, a decentralised exchange is where everyone should be heading towards. But I also think that we need to know, you know, who runs an exchange. You need to know who these people are. They can't just run away if there's any problem. Regulation is a dangerous word to even bring up in cryptocurrency. Some people think it's the worst thing in the world, and then we'll tell you that everyone's going to use crypto. You're not going to have one without the other. Adam from SafeCoin just kind of posted me. I hope, Adam, if you're watching, Adam, I hope you don't mind me just copying and pasting what you sent me there. So this is apparently Cryptopia's losses. And I'm going to post this in the comment area for everyone to see. I'm not sure where he's getting this from. So Cryptopia's losses, right. So, oh, that's why it's not letting me. It's not letting me because too many. Right, Cryptopia's losses. Cryptopia CE, right, so CENNZ 1 million, Cap 200,000, DApps 300,000, Dent $3.5 million. So this was what was missing from that Reddit post. Lena $200,000, MSP 2 million. 100,000, 100,000, 250,000. This is a thing. If it is $13 million, like, how do they come back from that? I've got no idea how they come back from that. I really don't. But again, maybe, you know, if, you know, SafeCoin can get investors and acquire the money to repay everyone back, and they can do it within a few days, maybe Cryptopia, it is more established. So I don't know. Aston F, why was Dotcoin used for listing fees at Cryptopia? I'm not sure. I just assumed it was Bitcoin they charged. Is that their own coin? Is that their own project? I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, whenever something like this happens, a lot of people do investigation and they start investigating what's going on. Morning, Sai. I'm not sure, Chris. Maybe they do have a war chest of Bitcoin. I don't know. It's one of those things, you know, if a company like that makes a lot of money, is it better to store it in like an emergency situation like this? Is it better to invest in infrastructure, in staff, in contracts, in promotion? Also, how much? I mean, if they're making a lot of money, how much is simply paid to the CEO and all that as bonuses and all that? And how much, you know, how much of that money would those people be willing to pay back when you can, you know, simply walk away or whatever? Not criticizing the people for that, but you know what I mean? Most companies, they'll maybe pay their CEOs and all that, and then they'll invest some, and then they'll keep some. But most companies, I wouldn't say, would keep that amount of money, you know, kind of in a bank account or in a cold storage wallet. I could be wrong though. I really don't know the ins and outs of how big exchanges operate as far as how they structure the investments and all that. Kim.com. Oh, is that the guy that was being attacked by the USA government, was trying to extradite him? So people the guys in SafeCoin were laughing, saying I was multitasking there. Send me a message. Right, so the other thing I could talk, I don't know if we should really go down this loophole, down this rabbit hole. I found this interesting. I think from the attack on SafeTrade from Friday, I think that the last few days has been quite interesting. It's been quite interesting as far as how everyone responded. Like within the first hour of finding out about the attack, everyone in the team's like, listen, we'll sort this out, we'll figure it out. We don't know anything yet about the attack. We don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll do it. And the team said that, the Safers team said that, and most people in the community are like, we believe in you and all that. But there was obviously many negative people, as you would expect. I'm not criticising them. But there was a lot of trolls as well. And it's quite interesting to see how disruptive trolls can be in a Discord group. I'm probably more of the hardline approach, where if people in there posting lies all the time, just ban them. Why waste all your time arguing with them? But it's difficult to do that in a situation like that. People think you're shutting them down and not letting them speak and all that. But there was a lot of people who would come on and they were just posting lies. This is an exit scam. I knew it would be an exit scam. But also they started just making things up. And then what successful trolls do is when you respond to them, they don't listen to facts and they'll respond to one thing that you say. It can be hard to handle that, especially when you've got a lot of people replying. But these things can hurt a project long term as well. But my response to all these kind of things, when you see a lot of trolls in a community, and I'm not talking about SafeCoin, any project, I've always got the approach that, you know, put up or shut up. You know, anyone can sit behind a keyboard and criticize people and criticize the team and all that. But just making things up, you know, there comes a point where you really just have to back it up and prove what you're saying. And this is the problem with trolls. But if you look at Bitcoin Talk, we were talking about this other day, how Bitcoin Talk has went downhill quite a lot. It's just full of trolls and, you know, shells and all that. And there's a lot of good people that go on there as well. But it's also the wild, wild west. Muddy Funds, I said a few weeks ago back when this was the proof of keys thing, I discussed HIP BTC and Cryptopia. I was right. Smug face. You've earned it, mate. You've earned the smug face. I think Dev007 from HXX is a Cryptopia founder. I'm not sure who that is. Imagine you can express an opinion online without actually saying it in person. Your face, your voice, your name, you know. Well, this is the thing. Basically what happened the other day, there was someone posting, there was complaining a lot on the Discord, and I said, listen, I'll speak to you privately, and I'll explain rationally. I'm not trying to pick on anyone. I don't want to, I mean, I don't hate anyone, even the ones that are posting crap on the Discord. I'm like, listen, why don't we just talk about this? We're adults, let's talk about this. We can do it publicly if you wanted to, but let's just talk about it privately, and I'll explain what's going on in the background. Don't worry, your money's safe, but we'll work this out. And the guy wouldn't come on and talk to me. And this is the problem that you've got. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Like, listen, I'll speak to you on the phone. No. And you're like, well, you can't have it always. You can't sit there attacking people personally, you know, throwing personal attacks at everyone and then not backing it up with any information, any knowledge. Anyone can just post crap and create an account, but to actually step up. And that's one of the things that kind of annoyed me about all this, because it was a little bit annoying. People were saying, oh, it's an exit scam, when SafeCoin's got one of the most public teams out there. Yeah, that's the way I look at it as well. If you don't have the balls to say something to someone, you know, as you would say in person, then don't say it. But as a YouTuber who gets comments every single day, I can assure you that that is not the case. That is not the policy that everyone else has. That is not the policy. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not what people do. I'll have a quick look at Reddit and see if there's any more information about Cryptopia. There's actually, I didn't realize that was a Cryptopia subforum. How much did Cryptopia lose? 2 million. Yeah, so you can see everyone's kind of investigating what's going on. What you need to remember as well, though, see if there are day traders. I think there's an assumption that all the most successful traders are on Binance or on Bittrex or somewhere else, but I have no doubt there's a lot of people making much more money simply by going to smaller exchanges, and maybe, you know, from a trading point of view, people are not as experienced, or maybe they're simply trading coins that you won't find on the other exchanges. But there will be a lot of traders that are going to lose out on this as well. But the thing that I found interesting as well from the SafeCoin hack, it's a clever policy to have, because then you become a whiz at being more reasonable from personal experience. Yeah, I do as well. I think see if you're not willing to try and see the other person's side, and you're not willing, if you're not willing to at least try and see the other person's side, if you come to any argument, any debate, and say, this is how I feel, I will never change, then what's the point? What's the point of talking? What's the point of debating? There's absolutely no point if someone's just shouting and they're not willing to have any kind of debate about it, and they're not willing to change their opinion. I have changed my opinion on many things simply because I've sat and discussed it with people and looked at their opinion. And this is something that perhaps more people need to do, you know, in politics and religion or whatever. But certainly in crypto, I think there's a lot of people just shouting out their opinion, and they won't listen to anyone else, and they think that they're a genius and everyone else is an idiot. I think it's a bad attitude to have in crypto, and I think you have to realize sometimes that there's always someone out there smarter than you, and even if they're not smarter, then they might know more about a particular subject than you do. But I agree with that. You know, you shouldn't say something to someone that you wouldn't say to their face in real life. Max, could kill some small projects if they had a large percentage of supply on Cryptopia. I would think that if it was a good project on Cryptopia, and they realized that, say, 20% of the supply or whatever was on Cryptopia on the exchange at that time, I would say that justifies a rollback. I would say so. If not, it could hurt the long-term success of the project. Now, that's never a popular thing to do, because when you do a rollback, you solve an important issue such as a hack or whatever. You roll it back and you will solve an issue for the majority of people. But there's always a few people that perhaps they traded, perhaps they mined a lot of coins that day. Maybe they spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on mining for those days, renting HashPower or something. And those people will lose out because they've mined coins that have since been rolled back. But I would say that generally speaking, if it's a small project, I would say a rollback. I mean, what's your opinion on this? I would say that a rollback would be the best move for most smaller projects. I know it's different when you get to like Ethereum level, Bitcoin level and all that. It's just simply not practical. But for example, last week when the SafeTrade exchange was hacked, Jeff was speaking about doing a rollback, and not one person disagreed with it. They said it was, it was the right thing to do, and it was. The whole community agreed. Do a rollback. It is the right thing to do. And obviously there was a few people that mined that day that would have lost the coins that they mined, but I think even those people were like, listen, it's fine, don't worry, it's the best thing for the project. I think these hacks will clean out some of the crap exchanges. I don't know where I stand on that, because I don't know. I can see that position, Nollis. I can see what you're saying, because I think you could take the position where if these exchanges can't survive these hacks just now, then maybe 6 months down the line, when their trading volume is 5 or 10 times higher, they'll lose more money, and then more people lose money, and more people are affected. Maybe it is better long term. Certainly in the short run, the company will lose out. The people involved in the company, the people who have money on exchange, will lose out. But perhaps long term, if smaller exchanges go under, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that. But at the same time, I just don't like all these attacks going on. I'd rather people focused on positive things and all that. But I was saying that to Jeff. I was like, listen, if we come out this, we could come out this much stronger. The exchange is going to be more secure. Some people might say, I'm never using that exchange again. I can understand that. Certainly if you've lost, a little bit of money from it. And even if it's refunded, you'll say, well, I still don't trust my money there 100%. But I would say that generally speaking, I think that if you survive an attack and you come out and then you implement better measures, then maybe that's a positive thing to take from it. And maybe that is survival of the fittest. What do you guys think about that? But I said it kind of goes against his crypto philosophy. Yeah, I'm trying not to sit on the fence here, but I can see what Nollis is trying to suggest. But at the same time, I don't agree with it. How many times can you roll back? In theory, you can do as many rollbacks as you want. Has to do rollbacks on a daily basis. Yeah, it does become harder to do it later on. It does become harder to do a rollback later on. And if a project has reached a certain point and not enough people agree with it, this is when you get the project forking. And like, well, we don't agree with that. We're going to fork, and we've got the original chain and you've got the new chain. That type of thing. Good exchanges do get hacked too. And I don't think it's a good thing per se. Ozzy saying it all depends, but I'm usually against rollbacks for most reasons. What would you think would be a good reason for a rollback, Ozzy? It's difficult because I think that whenever you do a rollback, you can't please everyone, and someone will lose out. Anyone who mined the coins between, the rollback date and then afterwards, you've got this period of time. It could be hours, it could be days, it could even be weeks. I don't know, depending on when they roll back to. Those people will lose out, and they will lose out if they have bought coins on an exchange. It certainly becomes something that you can't do when the coins are on multiple exchanges, because you need everyone to kind of jump on board with it. Bitcoin private needs that rollback. Yeah, I think given that they found that it was like 3 million extra coins, I think that was the right thing to do. I think that was the right thing to do in that situation. But I agree with maybe what Wazzy's trying to suggest. Maybe I'm paraphrasing what you're trying to suggest, but it shouldn't just be the default answer. It shouldn't just be the default reaction. Let's roll it back again. That cannot be the solution. I'm talking about extreme situations when, you know, a large percentage of a supply is being affected. Muddy Funds, the weak hands exchange has been taken out. A good thing. Also, less Bitcoin volume exchange is better for fiat price at least. Less opportunity for dodgy exchanges to fake their overall volume. That's a huge problem. I covered that in a video last month, but it's something I've touched upon again, where the vast majority of exchanges are reporting that they are getting 100 times what they're actually getting. So if they get 2 million, if they get like $10,000 daily trading, they're reporting that they get $1 million. It's insane. Crap exchanges being wiped out. It's one of those things though. It's what do you call a crap exchange though? You know, that brings up a whole different debate again. Yeah, what do you call a crap exchange, or what do you call a good exchange? Because you could get, the reason I'm saying this is because Cryptopia, for example, I thought it was crap. Cryptopia, I thought it was crap before because withdrawals took about 3 weeks and there was no customer support. But in theory, I doubt it was the case, but in theory, they could have had the most secure exchange in the world at that point. But if the customer service is poor, you'll say it's a crap exchange. If the volume is low and there's no coins to trade, you'll say it's poor. I don't know. You know, there's lots of different ways to review an exchange as far as whether it's good or not. But I'd probably agree that Cryptopia isn't one of my favourites. Ozzy saying, if it was something that was potentially going to kill the coin, yes. Yeah, I do agree with that. You know, it's not something that should be overused. I think it's really, really extreme situations. And it's something that's more common to occur at the start of a project when certain things are more likely to go wrong. HIP BTC. HIP BTC is one of the exchanges that lied about volume, I believe. Yeah. They do list quite a lot of bad exchanges. All the way from Venezuela. Buenos dias. Ronis as well. Welcome to the stream. Deposits were delayed too. Now, a delay in deposits and withdrawals, what kind of delay are you talking about? Because sometimes a delay is a good thing. If you're increasing the confirmations for deposits and withdrawals for security reasons, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And it can actually avoid things like double spend attacks and all these other things. Trezor is small and crap, but it's very good and works well. It's like some exchanges are small and I like them because they are small. Like I like Nano S just because I liked the interface and I thought they were quite quick. You know, the whole system was quite quick. Oh, the devil, a Brit in Spain. Long time no see. Oh, good to see you again, mate. Yeah, the way that YouTube, like I'm the same because I'm a bit of a YouTube junkie. I watch it more than I watch, you know, regular television. I don't watch regular television. I'm always on YouTube or Netflix. Yeah, sometimes there's channels that I love and they just don't pop into my home feed. I don't know why. Max saying it's not a good thing unless you're a maximalist. This will only make it harder for new projects to get listed anywhere. For a lot of new projects, getting on Cryptopia was a big goal. Did they not? How much did they turn on notifications? Oh, cheers, mate. Hugh's every comment. Hugh, I don't know, Hugh, you're in a trolling mood today, aren't you? You're in a trolling mood. Crypto is dead. Safecoin is dead. I've just got this image of you, Hugh, sitting there with a glass of wine right now, laughing your head off. 30 Bitcoin. It surely couldn't have been as high as that. God, they'll be back in days if they charge 30 Bitcoin for a listing. I think it was high though. Like, for what the volume you would get, I think their fee was quite high. The fee was .coin. I think at one point, I think they were charging like 5 Bitcoin or something. I used to, before I kind of removed private messaging from Discord, I would get these shitty new exchanges that would contact me saying Cryptopia is charging, 5 or 6 Bitcoin, we'll charge you 2 for our exchange. And then you check the exchange and there was like 0 volume, absolutely no one trading there, no customers, and they would just try to make money from the listings. Guillermo is saying, we use a lot of crypto in Venezuela, not trading much in central exchanges, just peer-to-peer. How does that work in practice? Is everyone just sending money? Is there a particular app that everyone uses to send money to each other? Are people paying for a car, for example? Someone paying for a car with Bitcoin, are they using an app, or are they just saying, right, I'll send it to your wallet, you send it to my wallet? Or it's quite interesting that people aren't using an exchange there. I mean, that's ideal, really. Obviously, there's a lot of risks involved with that, but it's pretty cool that people are doing that. What are they using it to buy? I'm quite interested in this. What are people using it to buy? Are they using it to buy cars and houses and things? Or are they also doing it for smaller items? Televisions, perhaps? Muddy Funster is asking, what is everyone mining? And if so, what and how? I'm not mining right now. Simply because I mainly just turn my PC off now when I'm not mining, because I run into a loss. When I mine, I lose money. So I just stopped doing it. Everyone keeps their money in Bitcoin. Right, okay. Oh, you mean in Venezuela? What's people mining in Venezuela? I believe a few people say that they're still mining Ethereum over there. I'm not sure if that's the case. Yeah, RIP GPU mining. Nola said that today, didn't you? The technicals. See if I can find that video. I'm sure you guys are aware of the technicals YouTube channel. Apparently he posted a video saying that he's giving up GPU mining as well. And I think, I came to this position like, what's that, about 4 or 5 months ago. And I think it is reaching other people now that have got lower electricity rates. See if I can find that video that... Can I find this video? So, I've not actually watched this video yet. The reason I've not watched this video, Norla sent me this video today, but I was at the gym at the time, so I couldn't hear it. And I didn't have headphones. But the one he was talking about was this one. Selling off 80% of my GPU mining farm, and it feels... I think he said it feels good. Is that what it says? It feels great. There we go. It feels great. I'll post a link to his video if you want to check it out. But he's obviously focused a lot on GPU mining. He's always had a big farm. So the fact that he isn't really doing it anymore is, I guess, quite telling of where we are in the market right now. I think that people in the UK and Europe got hit quicker than people in the USA. People in the USA could hang on a bit longer than we could. The electricity rate, we reached the point where it wasn't profitable to mine back in like August or so, really. In August, I was breaking even. July, August, I was just at the breaking even point. I should have sold then, but I waited till about September. Guillermo, Dash just invest much in advertisement and got several merchants. Alright, so this is Venezuela. Aussie saying, where I live, I can pay most bills with Bitcoin, electricity, car registration, water, and the rest BPay does it in Australia. It's quite cool that they're integrating that kind of thing into it. We need a network of coins that are capable of atomic swaps between one another and a decentralized network of exchanges that are peer-to-peer with masternodes. That'd be quite cool. Yeah. A network, right, so yeah, you could do atomic swaps between the coins. yeah, I mean, I don't know how difficult that would be to implement. Hey, Spammy, interesting username. Aussie's saying that the technicals is moving into FPGAs. Yeah, you can actually see that on his channel. He's got the FPGA mining juggernaut. Kind of makes sense. I've seen a lot of people doing that. I have been reluctant to go down that route simply because when I crunched the numbers with many FPGAs that people were talking about, it still seemed like I wouldn't be breaking even for like 2 years or maybe never. I know that a few, has anyone else really seriously looked at FPGAs, looked at the numbers and thought, I can, make good money from this? The problem that I had with a lot of FPGAs as well, if you look at, the FPGAs that I've looked at, many of them doing algorithms like Glider 2Z and all these other algorithms that are limiting you to many kind of new-ish coins, many of which are spammy coins. Some are good, but yeah, I just couldn't see myself spending thousands of dollars to only mine specific algorithms, and the fact that it did look like I wouldn't break even for like a year or two, maybe even longer. And that was assuming that everything stayed as they were just now. And in today's market, well, how is that going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen anyway. I think we might see profits going down. It's going to be a while before we hit a bull run. Big tweak. 2019 is going to be an interesting year for GPU, FPGAs, progressive proof of work, ASICs, anything in the proof of work arena. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's. What do you think it will be then? I mean, do you think 2019 is going to be the year that GPU mining kind of ends and everyone transitions to different solutions such as ASICs or whatever? The Takeo's move to downside by 80% was perfectly making sense. He's also keeping his feet into crypto mining and some hardware, which he is still keeping. All right, that's cool. He just said it's too time consuming versus the profitability. I came to the same conclusion. I think, I mean, I've not looked at the video yet, but I'm sure he's right. I came to that conclusion as well. And that's why I was considering selling like May, June last year, because the profits, I was making a little bit every day, but I was like, I'm spending all this time monitoring pools and tweaking everything and fixing all the, rigs were always going off and on for whatever reason because of pools or whatever. I'm like, I'm not actually losing money here. I would make more money simply by doing my job, a lot more money. And over time, it just became harder and harder to justify it. And then it was at the point where I was breaking even, and then I was at the point where I was losing money. So yeah, I've not seen his video yet, but I'm sure it was the right decision. It sounds like it was the right decision. Take a look at what the development here in Venezuela. Cointigo. Let's see. He has secret bit streams, need the secret shit. FPGA, just keep reading about golf. Guillermo was talking about this website, Contigo. So is this big in Venezuela? Send and receive cryptocurrencies over SMS, no smartphone or internet needed. So you don't even need a smartphone. You just use a basic phone. So are people using this in Venezuela? Basically send money via text. What do they charge for that? I assume they're getting a cut. They were getting a cut, surely. What is their cut? I want to know your cut. What's your percentage? There you go. 1%. I guess that's not too bad. The example showing you Zen there. It's interesting though, because I think it's easy to forget that what's going to work in the UK market might not work in the USA, and it might not work in Venezuela, or it might not work in Asia. There's going to be a lot of different payment systems and a lot of different apps, that prove to be successful. Captain Happy is saying that proof of work will be less important eventually. Yes, I would agree with that. I would say that we're seeing more projects move towards proof of stake and masternodes and all this. I saw someone saying though that if a coin can't be attacked by a 51% attack, then is it technically a cryptocurrency? And they were explaining that this is maybe something else. It's not a cryptocurrency anymore. I'm not sure about that. That's a whole different debate. But I do think that when projects are seeing how easy it is to attack a project, if you're a new coin, what would it take to really 51% attack your coin? $50 investment on NiceHash? Throw your whole project into disarray? So I can see the attraction and see why people are moving towards proof of stake and masternodes and all that. The dev works. Atomic swaps are disappointing though. Many coins supporting and they've been around a while. Nobody is using them much. Atomic Wallet has a nice user experience and developers. There's a good library in the cred in the GitHub. I've not used that. Has anyone here actually used Atomic Swaps? It's one of those things. I would agree with you there that it's a cool feature. It looks amazing on paper, but it just doesn't seem to have been picked up, and people, I don't believe people are actually using it. In theory, it's fantastic. No problem, Spy. Thanks for dropping by. In theory, it's a great feature. It's kind of dumb system to waste huge amounts of energy to proof of work all over the world, so that on part there must be changes. Well, I mean, I've seen some, as far as proof of work being wasteful, I've seen some articles saying that the majority of Bitcoin mining farms, which still take up the majority of mining throughout the world, many of them now are being set up in eco-friendly environments such as geothermal, or they're doing it next to power stations, because in power stations you've got a lot of energy that simply can't be utilized, or it can't be put into the grid if there's excess electricity or excess power made, and they can put it into these mining farms instead. And so in theory that that power would have been lost anyway. But certainly from a home mining point of view and from smaller operations, yeah, it's maybe not environmentally friendly. The memory in the FPGA unit is lacking, so that all decent coins and algorithms are incapable. What do you mean by that, Maker Garage? The memory in the FPGA machines is lacking. As in the FPGA machines they don't come with enough RAM? Am I reading that right? Yeah, I would agree that SMS could prove to be very popular in South America and Africa, even parts of Asia. Yeah, I mean, I've not looked at ASIC miner value for a long time. I don't know if there's any that's even remotely profitable. I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. NSA has control over Bitcoin now. What are you talking about, Hugh? What are you talking about? Honestly, are you sitting there smoking a doobie? The problematic in proof of work or other proof of, the developers have quite a big thinking there how to make it energy efficient without losing security. Yeah. And it's near impossible. The Vega 9 nanometer bits be tripping says we'll get 55 megahash. Some say 100. I saw someone in the Discord for Safecoin saying it could be like 120 for the new, what do you call it, Radeon 7. Yeah. 120 megahashes would be very, very impressive. Bits be tripping has been too big on GPU mining. Yeah, he's always had a really big setup. Is he doing a transition into FPGAs or something else? No problem, Muddy Funster. Thanks for dropping by. I do appreciate it. I think BBT pretty smart. Bits be tripping and shut down his farm. Can't verify though. It actually comes a point where you'd actually be silly to keep your farm going. Hugh Simpson says that the NSA has infected Bitcoin and put tracking software on every Bitcoin. Oh, that's awesome. I'd love you to explain how that would actually work. Atomic swaps is more thrown around as a buzzword or a tick box to make projects moon right now, I think. I do them often as a developer. So what coins would you do that with? What coins do you send money between? Because obviously there's only certain projects that support it. BBT says farm is like 2,500 GPUs. Wow, $17,000 a month for electricity. Waiting for upturn. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm almost jealous that he has a farm that big, but at the same time, I feel sorry for him that in this climate, he's got 2,500 GPUs. I've got one GPU to sell, and I'm sure I'll be able to sell it. And if I can't sell it, I'll just use it in my main PC. But 2,500. I mean, I sold 28, and I thought it was hard selling 28 GPUs, and I've still got motherboards and power supplies and all these other things that I need to sell. I've got USB, I've got all the adapters, I've got everything just sitting there gathering dust. Yeah, that's a full-time job though, isn't it? That's a full-time job if you get 2,500. That's in fact, that's not just a full-time job for one person, that's a whole company. Hey Terricles, good to see you. Your mentions are burning. Yeah, we were talking about the, I think, when did I scrolled back? I was talking about your video. I shared it above. I think you can see it in the comment area. See, I go back. Refresh. Devin got right. Okay, I was just getting a video up there to show you. So this is the video that I shared, mate. I was sharing this one. You're selling off 80% of it because Nola shared it with me today, but I was at the gym so I couldn't listen to it. But I was saying that you've probably made the right decision because here in the UK, I was paying like 18-19 cents UK rates, equivalent for America. Damn, you look good. You do, mate. I was paying about 18-19 cents, which is actually one of the better rates in the UK for a homeowner. So by about August, I was breaking even with the GPU mining, as in maybe making $1 or $2 from 30 GPUs. So I was at the point to sell, and then going into the end of August, September, I was at the point where I was actually losing money and I had to switch off rigs. But obviously GPU profits have been down and down and down, so you're probably at the point that I was about 5 or 6 months ago. No, anytime, mate. No problem. Hopefully going to be doing atomic swaps between Grin something. Terricos, my analogy was walking for an hour east for $100 or walking an hour west for $20,000. Yeah, well, I kind of talked about this earlier actually. This was the thing that I had as well, where when I was making $100 a day from all my GPUs, I could justify spending a few hours tweaking things, maintaining the rig, cleaning them all off and doing all that. When you're making $1 a day, you just can't justify it, and it's time that's better spent on whatever your business is, or maybe YouTube, or maybe something else. It becomes very, very hard to justify it when you're not making those profits. And there's a lot of people at the time, a lot of people disagreed. We were talking about this actually earlier on. There's a lot of people that disagreed with me switching off my rigs, but I think it was the best thing that I did. I actually did it too late. And I think there was a lot of people who said, why don't you just switch off your rigs? But if anyone who's, you know, in the UK switched off the rigs in September, they'd still be sitting waiting to turn the rigs back on. And with new GPUs coming out and all that, you know, your investment just goes down and down and down in price. I'll give a proper shout out to you technicals. I've posted a link for Technicals channel. Check out one of the best crypto channels out there. Give them some love. I need to watch that video later. I'm curious as to what you actually said now, because I didn't see it earlier. I don't take my earphones at the gym now because they play the music too loud. Right, I've got a lot of comments here to catch up on. Sorry guys, I'm slow with the comments. Not just slow in the brain. Right, hopefully going to be doing atomic swaps between Grin something quite soon. That's cool. As I said, I do like the idea of atomic swaps. I've never had any practical reason to actually use them. Captain Happy, I never made money back from rig price. I joined in just too late to benefit the best time, but I'm really happy I joined this. This is a good learning about crypto, and the market will turn tide later. When did you start your GPU rig then, Happy? That's the way that I look at it. You know, that's the way that I look at 2018 though. And that for the first half of the year I was mining, I loved it. But looking back, you can say, oh, I lost a little bit of money. But it's probably the best introductions you'll get to cryptocurrency, as far as learning how pools work, learning how, you know, what developers have to deal with, learning how the blockchain works and all that. It does give you a really good understanding of it all. Hot summer too. I mined all the way through the summer and then stopped when it was cold in winter. Sai is mining Veriblock. Some poop coins have dropped out from the market. Poop coins. I need to start using that. Yeah. So I'm just Technicals was saying there, I hear you, Kev. It wasn't the maintenance, it was the time spent researching what to mine, new projects, news updates, etc. I think I guess we've got more of a reason for doing that than other people, because we both got YouTube channels and we both focus on crypto. So I guess we can justify spending time saying, well, this is research and it's content, you know, it's news for everyone else. But a lot of the time I was doing that, I was searching for new coins. It actually got harder and harder to find good projects. That's the thing that started pissing me off. You go into Bitcoin Talk, and I've complained about this recently, but you go into Bitcoin Talk and the coin isn't even on block 1 yet, and they've secured a listing on CryptoBridge. It's like, why the hell are you even bothering about exchanges yet? Secure your project, get your wallets working, get all that sorted first. And there was just a growth in pump and dump coins and all that, and they were getting more popular, and it was getting really hard to not only find good projects, but when you did find a good project, you'd maybe even pass by it because it was hard to tell the good guys from the bad guys. But I still love crypto. I'm still here. We both are. And everyone else who's watching is too. I can't wait for the bull run. We'll go back to the craziness and talk about this bear run as the good old times. Captain Happy said there's probably 95% poop coins in the market. I'm going to start adopting that, Happy, and start using poop coins. 5% have something decent going on, and among that 5%, there are just a few real winners, maybe a couple of dozen. It's really hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with that. I would say that that's a really good summary, actually, because there are some projects that maybe won't last, but they've introduced some cool features, or they've, you know, maybe got some cool ideas, but maybe they won't implement them. One thing that annoys me is that there's been a few projects where they've just abandoned the project altogether. They weren't hacked. They weren't attacked. They didn't see their price fluctuate. They just abandoned the project. They just decided to do something else. And that's a little bit disappointing, especially if you've spent a lot of time mining the coin or buying the coin. Knowledge saying, I remember a few years ago when the new Krispy Kreme shop opened up here, there were quite a few people queuing for 3 or 4 hours. I can't understand that. People travelling 3-4 hours for a donut. That's insane. People did that here as well. They travel up to Edinburgh for a donut. To the people who don't build their time, I envy you. I wish I was going to live forever. Well, it sounds like you kind of view your time kind of a similar way to me, because I mean I work on the internet, and when I'm not working my own websites, I sometimes do freelance work for other people. So when I get time, I do freelance work for other people. And when you're charging an hourly rate, you're thinking like this all the time. You're like, well, I could do that, but I'll make more money just by, you know, doing work for the client. So you start thinking, well, this actually cost me money by doing this. And I was starting to think that when I was only breaking even with the GPU mining, I started to think that. Knowledge says, GPU mining is very much something for people that like pissing about with things. Financially, you'd be better off doing something else. Certainly at this point, I mean, I think if we enter a bull run, we might see maybe a little bit of a comeback with GPU mining, but it might not be the same anymore, simply because so many projects don't have GPU mining algorithms. Maybe they will have adopted an ASIC mining algorithm or whatever. But I saw someone else posting about this the other day. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but they said about FPGAs, and they said that FPGAs are the same as ASICs in so much as GPU mining. The whole principle behind everyone doing GPU mining was that everyone had a graphics card in their PC anyway, or in their laptop, so it allowed everyone to do it. Kind of the same idea as CPU mining. And you know, when you move towards FPGAs, when you move towards ASICs, it's a very exclusive thing. It doesn't include everyone, and it kind of goes against the whole reason, you know, the mining started in the first place. Maybe that's what these, you know, maybe with the increase of FPGAs and ASICs, maybe this is why some projects will do proof of stake, simply to involve more people. And when you get more people involved in the project, you get more people on Discord, you get more people on social media, Telegram, the lot. Camping in front of Best Buy on Black Friday. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I remember Bill Burr talking about that, and he says that I'd rather go back the next day or go back a week later and just pay $100 extra and act like a gentleman and not an animal. I'd have to agree with that. I look at it as just a hobby. I can understand it a hobby if you've got like 1 or 2 GPUs. Because when I said, if you go back to my videos when I talked about selling my GPUs, I've got 2 left. One in my main PC. I've got one sitting in a box just now. But I said I could understand someone having up to 1 rig as a hobby, but anything other than that, you should be looking at it like a business. And people were saying you're stupid selling, and at the very end they said, well, I've only got one 1050 Ti in my PC. I've only got one basic card. And you're like, so why are you arguing with me here? You know, I've got 30 GPUs here that I'm trying to get rid of. Captain Happy bought his very first GPU for his rig in November or December 2017. I was the exact same as you. December 2007. I mean, I was mining before on my laptop and stuff, but December 2017 when I bought my first, when I built my first rig. But then the real cards started coming from January. We were about the same time. Scottish, Liverpool accent, Scotland. This isn't a Scouser accent. Not that that would be a bad thing. I've always got on with people from Liverpool. I've met a lot of really nice people. Still not been to Liverpool actually. I really want to go. There's been like two or three friends that went to Liverpool for stag do's, and I was in South America at the time and I missed them all. Yeah, I don't know why. I must have got a jump. I must have got listed in the YouTube homepage. It does that sporadically. Where you get listed on the homepage of YouTube, and you get a lot of views. It's weird. Thanks, Jonas. Right, okay. Where am I here in the comments? In fact, no, I need to make this comment window bigger. That's the main problem here. Worry about a small cow walk before the bull run. Any abandoned project examples? Well, the example I was thinking about when I went on that rant there DevWorks, the example I was thinking about was a vertical coin. So I did a video about vertical coin, and they'd said about an interview, and I kept saying, like, so when are we doing this interview? They kept basically palming me off, and I'm like, listen, I'm not going to beg for the interview. Usually with the guys that wanted the interview. And I had about 7,500 coins. I've still got them in a wallet somewhere. And basically, I knew something was wrong when the CEO of the project contacted me and told me he was the marketing manager for another coin, and he asked me to cover the other coin. I'm like, what do you mean you're the marketing manager? You're the CEO of Vertical Coin. And it turns out with 5 or 6 developers, all the guys just stopped hanging out in Discord. They just stopped responding, and they just abandoned it. And one of the guys left, just said, sorry, I've tried to contact them, but no one's responding, so the project's dead. So there was like 5 or 6 people, and they didn't even speak to each other, and they just abandoned the project. But that isn't unique. You know, I've seen other people talk about this with other projects. I've seen other examples on Bitcoin Talk as well. Capital gains alone was more than 60 times my mining for 18 months without the detailed math. Wow. How big was your setup, Technicals? How big was your whole GPU mining rig setup? Remember Cowwalk? Yeah. I have no doubts that crypto will go up again later. It's sort of up and down thing. Yeah, I think it will go up. I mean, I'm sure everyone here is bullish in that regard and believes that crypto's here to stay. That's not something I'm bothered about, and I'm honestly not bothered about sitting on the coins for years either. It really doesn't bother me. I'm still interested in crypto. I'm still keen in, you know, the whole thing. I still believe in it all. Technicals, 110 GPUs, 6 ASICs, 2 FPGAs at its height. Wow. So your setup was like 4 times the size of mine. I had 30 GPUs, you had 110, 6 ASICs. Wow. Really big investment. That's huge. That's really huge. It's one of those things. It's fantastic in a bull run, the money you'll be making and the coins you can mine from that. And then when, you know, you enter this position now, you need to sell it off. That's, for me, it wasn't just selling it off was the financial point of it. It was the time to actually sell it, the time to actually physically wrap up boxes. There was a couple of days where I spent days wrapping up boxes and taking them to the post office. There was a couple of days I couldn't work. Thanks, Ronis. I'm not sure if you're still seeing this. I'm just seeing your comment. Hope work isn't too bad. Hugh's aunt camped outside Woolworths for 7 days. Yeah, sure. Hey, Chaos. Yes, YouTube does have a delightful selection of the human race. Aussie's got 7 GPUs, so very small, but looking to get some more right now. Are you still running at a profit? You still running at a profit, Aussie? You're getting really cheap electricity rates. No, this was a student, Liverpool. Yeah, I'd like to go down. There's actually a YouTuber who's got a similar kind of tech channel to me. I don't know if there's an excuse to go down and see him, but he's got a tech channel down in Liverpool. Could always go down, have a dinner or a lunch with him, speak to him, catch up with him. But I've always wanted to go down. Captain Happy, it's good to have always one rig running, then you can get rewards often enough to make any sense. Imagine running some 10 mega hash card on Ethereum and keep every day close eye on it. The last thing I kind of mined actively, well, I mined Safecoin a little bit, but I mined Ethereum a lot in August, and by the time I went to actually cash out, it dropped by about half because I wasn't cashing out quick enough. Developer Works, Vertical Coin. I specialise in picking up old abandoned coins. Someone in the community, DevWorks, someone in the community was trying to keep the project going. So it might still be there. And there is an active community there that wanted it. They actually, here's the annoying thing, right? I'll tell you what happened with, if someone can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but basically one of the biggest selling points of that Vertical Coin project was that they had this new algorithm, and it took in the LiDAR 2Z and 2 other kind of like efficient algorithms, summer algorithms, ones that don't make your GPUs run crazy. And they were going to, you know, run between the 3 different algorithms, so it was safer, it was securer, and it was, you know, it was efficient. So they didn't implement it. This was their new unique algorithm. It was the main selling point of their coin. This was the selling point of their coin. Vertical coin was, we've got this new algorithm. It's going to spin between these 3 different algorithms. So, but what did they do first? Well, they got listed on CryptoBridge. They got listed on another exchange. When they went to go and implement it, apparently, again, I'm paraphrasing, but this is apparently what folk were saying in the Discord. When they went to CryptoBridge, they said, no, you can't change it. You know, this will hurt your listing. This gives us too much work in the background. And then they went, okay, well, we can't do it then. And they just dropped the whole purpose of their project, everything that was in their white paper on their website, because they were listed on a shitty exchange like CryptoBridge. Really, really annoying. 12 nodes, 2 trading bots for a month. Best week was $4,000 a week. Wow. That's a hell of a lot of mining. I can only imagine what your electricity bill was like. Selling stuff was a major bollock. Agreed. The real point I wanted to make was the time it was taking. I build my time very high to keep myself working. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people forget. It can be time consuming. And I found as well, see when I went down to 1 rig, I don't know if it's just because I was on Hive OS and I had tweaked it over a few months, but maintaining 1 rig was super easy. I found maintaining 1 GPU rig to be very, very easy. But I found that when I had 2, 3, and 4 rigs, there was always 1 rig that was giving me problems. The other ones would run well, and then I'd fix rig 3, I'd get it all running, and then a week later, rig 4, something would happen. Something, you know, that it would be a riser out of place, or the fan wasn't running correctly, so you had to start it up and then fix all that. But when I had 1 rig, it seemed to be working okay. I don't know if I was just unlucky, but yeah, it was kind of annoying. Capili, welcome to the stream. Bro, invested $1,600 when Bitcoin was $18,000. I have only $150 now. What to do? I mean, I hope you didn't invest money that you couldn't afford to lose. There's not much you can do right now. Sit and hold the money. Technicals has got a lot of GPUs to sell. If anyone wants to buy, he says $100. Lamborghinis eat a lot of gas. I'm eating ramen noodles. Right, adjusted rate was $6, 6 cents, 0.06 US dollars. That's not too bad. That's not too bad an electricity rate. I know you can get cheaper in some parts of America. Some people had like 2 and 3, but 6 cents is definitely on the cheaper side. The guy in charge of the farm salary is too much. That is a full-time job though, running that amount of GPUs. Captain Happy, long-term miners who are not downsizing big time, they have to be holding their coins, but then again, they must have running costs very low. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's interesting though, because I think I think, you know, the way that the market is and all that, if you were a new project, would it make any sense to go with a proof of work algorithm, or would you go for proof of stake? Or would you do, you know, I think there's actually a good argument for doing CPU mining. If you could do an algorithm that could only be mined through a CPU, I think there'd be a good argument for that over GPUs at this point, or even, you know, over ASICs or whatever. Just as far as getting people interested in your project, maybe have a percentage of it proof of stake, a percentage of it through CPU mine. Aussie Brogan, I have a video about it, mining on and off depending on difficulty, dips on 8 different coins. Bowling at night, get 40 cents per kilowatt for solar. I put it back into the grid. Still not 100% profitable, but very close. I was trying to see if you had a video there about that. If you believe the market is going to go back up, it's better to just buy crypto. If not, then what the fuck is the point of mining anyway? Supporting the network. Yeah, we had lots of discussions about this. Even, I think at one point in a live stream, I had a piece of paper writing up the basic maths and explaining to people that you could get more coins. But if you're kind of in the middle and you're mining speculative coins, I can see if you're not, as long as you're not losing too much, I can see the appeal of just kind of mining at the break-even point. Hi Excel, welcome to the stream. All the way from Phoenix. Is that Arizona? Am I getting my geography right here? Where someone like me, someone as white as me would get burned to a crisp. Is Veriscoin not the same guys from Komodo? Is that right? There was another CPU coin as well. I think SafeTrade actually added a few of them recently. DevWorks, I'm working on Z Classic and Prime Coin right now. Both abandoned at some point. So you're on the main... So that Z Classic is the main one, isn't it? That's the main project now that looks after it. Because I know it was kind of jumping between different owners. The problem with Z Classic though is that it's been used as, you know, for pumping and dumping so much over the last year. It's hard to support it. Prime Coin, I remember that as well. I covered that at one point. I'm trying to remember it. Ultimate budget mining rig and mining profitability. I couldn't see that. Do you think Cryptopia will return our coins? Cryptopia was attacked, right? So for the benefit of those asking, Cryptopia was attacked. Apparently happened 2 days ago. You'll see a lot of articles about it online talking about it. Now this article is actually a little bit out of date now, because the latest is that they believe there's about $13 million stolen. It could actually be different now. Could be more. If you scroll back in the comments, in fact, I'll post this again. I'll post what I got here again. So I'm going to post the Cryptopia losses, and then don't take this as gospel. Don't take this as gospel though. This is just what was sent to me. But you're talking about $13 million or something. As far as getting your money back, you know, it's too early to say at this point. I'm not sure if Cryptopia's got that money sent around. It's bad news. It's bad news. I mean, I was never a fan of the Cryptopia exchange, but it's not something I relish in. I hope they can work that out. Technicals need a registry for new coins. If you launch a coin, you provide personal data to third party who gives to the constables if you exit. If you provide, you get this stamp of approval. That'd be a good idea for exchanges as well. I mean, I think most exchanges should be transparent about who they are. They should be public. They should be a registered company as well. This is one of the problems I have with Bitcoin Talk. There's no validation, and there's nothing stopping, you know, there's no stopping any coins listing a pump and dump scheme. Some coins are so blatantly obvious that they're going to scam people as far as the way that they sell up, pre-selling masternodes beforehand and all that. Some of these coins are so blatant, and yet, you know, the owners of Bitcoin Talk don't do anything about it. It's difficult. I think I'd really like to see that myself. I'd like to see more transparency. I'd like to see more, you know, more accountability. I know I'm British. I just thought I was maybe the only person left in crypto who used Z. See, I don't even know which one's okay. Not all the same. British English is Z, not Z. I'm all mixed up though. There's a couple of words I really do say the wrong way, because I lived in New Zealand. I lived in Australia. I spent over a year in Asia. I lived in South America for a few years as well. So you were constantly changing the way that you talked because you were talking to other people from different countries and all that. So I've picked up a lot of bad habits. I really have. So as far as the British pronunciation goes, I am not the person to look at. Do you know what happened with Bitfinex? Did they return customers 72 million, which was hacked? I think I covered that before. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they did. In 2017, when I didn't know much about crypto, when I knew about maybe Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, own Monero, maybe too. This crypto market looks bigger to me. Yeah, well, you know, obviously I think when Bitcoin was up, it probably brought a lot of people in, but yeah, the market, I would like to think the market's bigger now. There was a project started, Redding, that was attempting to vet new coins. I think the real world got in the way for the developers. I remember reading about that at one point. I can't remember everything about it, but yeah, I remember reading about it at one point. Technicals say that no and fake accounts on Bitcoin Talk are $100 for 20 sock puppet accounts with post history. Yeah. And I mean, this kind of goes back to, you know, a lot of the decisions that I made last year was about this. I made the decision, maybe last June or July, that I didn't want to cover any projects that weren't transparent. So projects that didn't have, you know, team members that were putting their picture, the LinkedIn pictures, people that didn't want to come onto my channel and do an interview. I made the decision not to cover those, and that got me a lot of grief. A lot of people don't agree with that, and people, oh, well, you covered Bitcoin. But I had a lot of projects saying, hey, we've got a new, I mean, technicals, you're probably the same. You know, you get approached by a lot of people, can you cover our coin? And it's one of those things where you want to cover the good projects, but, you know, you try to give everyone a fair crack of the whip. But they would contact you and say, hey, you've got your YouTube channel, love your channel, despite not knowing anything about it. And they would say, we want to come on, would love you to cover our channel, we'd love you to cover our cryptocurrency project, sorry. And I'd say, fantastic, come on, we'll talk about it. And they're like, oh, no, we're hidden. We don't want anyone to know our identity. I'm like, okay, so you want people to mine your coin, you want people to buy your coin, you want people to invest into your project, and you're not willing to go on. I'm not saying that everyone should be comfortable with video, but at the very least, you should come on and talk about it. You should at least put your identity out there. And this is, you know, this is why, I mean, I think we need this because there's so many people are exiting. I think we need more teams that are public. And I'm always more supportive of projects where they're putting their reputation, they're putting their, I'm not going to say their lives at risk, but they're putting their reputation on the line. International English, yes. I have international English. I'm going to start using that now, Nollis. Even something like Scamcoin, when we aim to get wealthy off your backs, we probably have fanboys to defend it. No doubt. Redding and Reefcoin are probably connected. I remember Reefcoin. I remember that was out. That was a masternode coin. Rizwan had 0.3 Bitcoin on Cryptopia. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you get that back, mate. Hopefully you get that back. Realistically, they do have a mountain to climb here. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do that unless they sell part of the company or they get investors or something. I don't know. Hopefully they can. But they've also got the New Zealand Police Department. They've got like a cyber crimes division investigating it all as well. So hopefully, you know, they might be able to get that. You don't know. Maybe they'll be able to get some of the money back or most of it. After Pirate came out, the KMD network, another with a similar name tried to establish itself with no white paper soon after. That's another thing as well. You know, a lot of coins come out and they said, oh, the white paper's coming soon. And you're like, well, why have you launched? Launch when you've got everything ready. Nolly said if he was a YouTuber, he'd agree to any coin, providing they paid me up for it, then I'd do the video and trash it. I've got myself into a lot of trouble by doing that. I got DDoSed for doing that. Not on YouTube, for my website. I reviewed a Russian script, an application for a website, and it was like 30-40% of my way into reviewing it that I realised this thing is absolute garbage, and I gave it an absolute terrible review. And they actually said to me, like, just take the review down, you can keep the money. I was like, no, it's terrible. I can't have anyone, you know, buying that. And they attacked me for so long. They attacked me for so long because I wouldn't take it down. I stand by it. I stand by that review. Interesting part is Reefcoin is still running around. Lots of masternodes online, even if there's no volume in exchange. Grin goes live now. So what's Grin? Is this a new coin, Dev? Rizwan saying, some people saying Cryptopia did it self-scam, not hack. What is it, exit scam? An exit scam is where a an exchange will try and portray itself as if it has been attacked, and what they've done is, you know, steal the money themselves. Effectively, that's, you know, people have ran away. The people who run it have ran away with the money. I don't think that's what's going on here. Certainly not, because it's a registered company. These people go to conferences. They've got a lot of staff, and you know, the more staff you've got, the more people you've got talking. And because they've reported, well, they say they've reported it to the police. I don't think that's the case. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong. But I don't think there'd be any reason for an exchange such as Cryptopia to do an exit scam for $30 million, because they could sell the company for more than that, I believe. So I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe so. There might be some coins sort of hibernated. Nobody really knows if those reversals come active later. There's been a couple of coins that were abandoned a few years ago, and then people pick them up later on because they know that there's people with those coins. Privacy coin based on Mimblewimble. Grin. Never heard. So this is a brand new coin. No problem, Rizwan. All the best to Pakistan. Hopefully you get your money. Hopefully you get your money. It's a bad situation. And sometimes, like, you know, especially from my end, sometimes you're focused on reporting the news and you're talking about the hack, and you forget there's people at the other side, like yourself, that have lost money through this. And you know, a lot of people are joking about it, but people are losing money, and sometimes it's money they can't afford to lose. So hopefully you get most of it back. It's never good when you hear people losing money. But I'm not sure what they're going to do. I really genuinely don't know, you know, what their plans are, how they're going to tackle it. So I'm going to tie up the stream in about maybe 15-20 minutes or so. You want me to check out Grin? Or check it out? Oh, in fact, what I was going to do, what I wanted to quickly do, before I do that. Right, okay. So this is here. What I wanted to do, I'll check out Grin in a second. I wanted to quickly look at ASIC miner value just out of curiosity. Now, at the bottom, it's got 13 cents per kilowatt hour. Let's look at what it would be if you put in some UK prices. And then people will ask why you're not mining. So, basically, some of this, I would have to, is this not the Spawn Doolies, is that not the one that's like thousands of dollars, like tens of thousands of dollars? Yeah, this thing's expensive to buy. This thing's very expensive to buy. Yeah, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And even if you go back, like the Z9s are down to $1.40 a day, and that's the Z9, not the Z9 Mini. The Z9 Mini's probably run at a loss. Yeah, the Z9 Mini's now running at a loss. So anyone in the UK would be running at a loss running the Z9 Mini. And at the Z9, you're probably a month or so before it becomes a doorstop. Yeah, mining as a whole isn't very good, I would say right now. Okay, let me get this over here. Right, so before I tie up, I want to look at Grin. A few people mentioned there the DevWorks. Nolly said there's a lot of people hyping it. So let's check it out. This is the website. I will post it here. So this is it here. Meet Grin. It looks like Watchmen, doesn't it? Electronic transactions for all, without censorship or restrictions. Private, scalable, so it's based on Mimblewimble. Open. So we're currently hard at work stabilizing Grin for our mainnet release around 15th of January, i.e. today. So they've got the white paper. Well, they've got a white paper. That's good. That's a start. That's more than what a lot of people have got. So this is, they've decided to go down the text pad route. I'm going to have to put this up just so we can read. Right, let's see if I can summarize this. Confidential transactions. This is like reading a website from 1994. They really need to stick this into a Word document or a PDF. Merging transactions across. Dreams asked me and I woke up sweating, but in fact it is okay. What the... Here are some questions I cannot answer at the time of this writing. That's a bit of a tease. You're teasing me. I don't know what to say about that. Like, it's quite hard to. It's quite a small document. You actually see it. I'll leave a link to it. It's Mimblewimble here. Can someone summarize that for me? I don't know what's going on there. Confidential transactions. Yeah. So it seems to be getting a lot of hype. What's can someone summarize this as far as what's the algorithm? Is the wee Grin MW intro. Right. Oh, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is what we're talking about. This is much better. Mimblewimble. Oh, this is Mimblewimble and Grin. Right. Privacy by default. Right. So for anyone who doesn't know what that means, that's like in the Equihash coins, there are Z transactions, but you need to kind of opt in rather than opt out. This one is privacy by default, like I guess like Monero or something like that, something else like that. Scales mostly with the number of users and minimally with the number of transactions. Strong and proven cryptography. Tiny bits of elliptical curves. Right, so this is the explanation. Transacting with Mimblewimble. Possession of private keys. It's quite technical, actually. That I'm surprised they don't link to that for the white paper. Or the other ones say original white paper. Has anyone read through this? A Mimblewimble transaction includes the following: a set of inputs, a set of outputs include an explicit transaction fee. Right, I'm actually boring myself trying to figure this out. It's quite a technical thing to read on a live stream. It's based on Mimblewimble community funding. So what is it from a mining point of view? I'll check it out over the next few days. It sounds like there's a lot of people talking about it. The thing is out of the 90s. That's the best thing about it. Yeah, you can't hack TextPad. Yeah. So I'm going to start tying up the stream, guys. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. The first half of the stream was focused mostly on the SafeTrade attack and the Cryptopia attack, and the good news about the SafeTrade situation is that everyone is getting their money back. They made the official announcement today. They had to wait 3 days because they wanted to secure the funding. So the exchange is actually going to be much more secure because of it. But on the same day that they make this announcement, we find out that Cryptopia has been hacked as well. So that's not good. And you know, we saw that with Rizman in the comment area there. I've never been a big fan of the Cryptopia exchange, but you need to remember, even if you don't like the exchange, there's a lot of good people that have lost money in this situation. So hopefully they have a good resolution to this, and hopefully everyone can get their money back. There's a lot of exchanges being attacked at the moment, and yeah, it's not good to see. It's not good to see anyone losing money, even if it's, you know, their own wallet or an exchange or whatever. So hopefully they can figure it out. Thanks everyone for dropping by, guys. I really do appreciate it. This bear market is a good thing. It drops many shit coins out of the market. I would agree with that, but also I would say that we're going to have more. When you're in a bull run, you just get more people come back anyway. I don't know. Aussie broken tech. GPU with 6 GB minimum, better on NVIDIA, but AMD can do it. You talk about for mining. for GPU mining. Granny accepts 2 proof of works or ASIC resistant is intended to be mined by GPUs. It can be mined using a 6. Alright, okay, thanks for clarifying. It can be mined using a 6 GB graphics card. So that would make a, what's that, a 1080 and above? 1060s. Oh no, 1060s was 6 GB as well. 1060s was 6 GB. Right. I'll need to check it out more. So thanks again. Thanks again for everyone who dropped by. Thanks for everyone who's commented and liked the video and all that as well, and for subscribing. Keep tabs on what's happening with Cryptopia, and even if you've not got any money on Cryptopia or SafeTrade or anywhere else, just keep an eye on what's happening with exchanges. Don't take any risks. If you're going to deposit any money to an exchange, deposit your money, trade your coin, and then withdraw. Get your money out of there. There is absolutely no reason to keep any significant amount of money on an exchange, and unless you're doing trading all the time, and even then you shouldn't keep all your money there. Just operate under the assumption that any money on an exchange could be stolen. And I know that's a bad way to look at it, but just be careful. Don't keep money there that you can't afford to lose. But you know, it's going to happen. You know, it's a shame what's happening with exchanges being attacked, but try and minimize losses wherever you can. So thanks for dropping by, guys. I really do appreciate it. It's been fun catching up with you guys. I know I've not been able to do a live stream in the last week or two, so it's been good. I'll hopefully try and do one at the end of the week. I've got work on the next few days. Unfortunately, I need to make the cash. I'm going to try and save up a few $1,000s and get better equipment. I want to get a better camera for streaming. Thanks, guys. Please do stay in touch. I do appreciate all the love. And shout out again to Technicals for dropping by. I'll post his YouTube channel. Show him some love as well. He's got a really good YouTube channel, and he seems to be selling off his GPUs, but he's focusing more on FPGAs, and this isn't something I'm focusing on. So if you want to learn more about FPGAs, do show him some love, drop by and check out his videos. But thanks again, everyone. I will speak to you all very soon, and I'll probably talk more about what's happening with SafeTrade in the next week or two. I'd like to do a video interview or a live stream with Jeff and get to the bottom of how, you know, what happened. I think it'd be good to hear his side of things once everything is out in the open. And again, the point we're at just now, there's certain things that the team can't reveal because of security reasons and different reasons. But all of this will come out in the open in the future. DevWorks saying, follow Granny and a developer in their Gitter dev chat right now to see developers bringing up mainnet live. Currently generating Genesis block. Interesting stuff. Thanks for that, and thanks for you know, following the stream again, Dev. Hopefully the weather's a little bit nicer there over in Spain. Right, guys, out for me. Time to get a wee snack. I'll catch you all later on, and peace, love, and all that as well. Stay safe in crypto, guys. Cheers.